First, an update on the coronavirus situation, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the nation this evening at 8 p.m. on the situation arising out of coronavirus outbreak. In a Twitter message, the Prime Minister's office said that Prime Minister Modi will talk about issues relating to COVID-19 and the efforts to combat it. Yesterday, Prime Minister Modi chaired a high-level meeting to review the ongoing efforts to contain the spread of coronavirus. In the meeting, ways to further strengthen India's preparedness were discussed, including further enhancing testing facilities in our country. He has also urged officials and technical experts to deliberate on the steps to be taken next. The Prime Minister also expressed gratitude to all those at the forefront of combating coronavirus, including state governments, medical fraternity, armed and paramilitary forces, those in the aviation sector, municipal staff and others. The Prime Minister has been urging people to prepare themselves but do not panic. He has supported the idea of avoiding non-essential travel and also limiting gatherings to check the spread of the virus. Earlier this week, he had initiated a video conference of SAARC leaders to prepare a joint strategy to tackle the pandemic. And a day after Prime Minister Modi suggested a joint conference of the G20 nations to frame a joint strategy to address the coronavirus pandemic, Saudi Arabia has called for a virtual summit next week. The Saudi G20 presidency is communicating with the member nations to convene a virtual leaders summit next week to advance a coordinated response to the COVID-19 pandemic. In the summit, the G20 leaders will put forward a coordinated set of policies to protect people and safeguard the global economy. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a telephonic conversation with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, had emphasized the need for coordinated efforts to address this global challenge. In the conversation, the two leaders agreed that a similar exercise at the level of G20 leaders would be useful. And in India, the number of cases of coronavirus infections have risen to 166, out of which 148 are active cases. 3 people have died so far due to coronavirus. Chandigarh reported its first coronavirus case as a 23-year-old woman who returned from London on 15th of March tested positive. A second positive case in Andhra Pradesh has also been reported as a person who returned from England on 15th of March also tested positive. Meanwhile, the ICMR has said that there is no evidence of community transmission of COVID-19 as the testing of 826 random samples turned out to be negative. Meanwhile, Railways on Thursday cancelled 84 trains which will not operate between 20th to 31st of March, and with this, the total number of cancelled trains has climbed to 155. The National Transporters has also issued a set of guidelines to the zonal headquarters for its catering staff, stating that no employee having fever, cough, runny nose or difficulty in breathing should be deployed in the business of food handling. And the ICSE board on Thursday also postponed class 10 and 12 examinations due to the novel coronavirus till 31st of March. The move comes a day after the CBSE postponed the ongoing class 10 and class 12 examinations till 31st of March. The joint entrance exam for admission to IITs and engineering colleges has also been postponed. Meanwhile, India has also temporarily banned the entry of passengers from 36 countries, while people travelling from 11 countries will be mandatorily quarantined in the wake of coronavirus. Also, overseas citizen of India or the OCI card holders, except from the restricted countries, will be required to obtain a fresh visa from the Indian mission and only then allowed to enter India. India has also evacuated its 405 citizens, including students who were stranded at the Kuala Lumpur airport in Malaysia due to coronavirus outbreak. On Tuesday, the Indian government approved Air Asia flights for Delhi and Vizag to help the stranded Indians. The Indian nationals, remember, were struck at the Kuala Lumpur airport after the government banned the entry of passengers from EU countries, Turkey and UK from 18th to 31st of March, and also closed its doors to those from Afghanistan, the Philippines and Malaysia with immediate effect. All right, let's go across to Anu Diwan, who's tracking the coronavirus situation in our country. Anu, the number of cases is slowly rising. We have seen, few more cases, though the number, of course, is still less compared to the, population of the country. And the ICMR has clearly stated today that there is no sign of any community transmission, which is, of course, the worst stage as far as, any virus transmission is concerned. What more can you tell us? Because the Prime Minister is also going to address the nation tonight, and he'll also speak about these measures that are being taken to contain the spread.
Very true, Aishwarya. Just to check that whether we are going into the community transmission stage or not, ICMR has taken up randomly taken up 826 samples to test coronavirus whether they have or not. But we have a very good news that ICMR, according to it, said that none of the tests in 826 sample we got a positive results, all were negative. So we can be sure, we can take a we can say that we are into stage 2 only, where we can protect ourselves and prevent ourselves from going into the stage 3, that is the community transmission stage. So only the thing we need to do here is also like we need to be more precautious and more cautious and take these measures given by the government, advisories by the government, follow them as we are following till now. Washing your hands, maintaining hygiene, and avoiding crowded places. All these measures, traveling to abroad, non-essential travels, and etc. Advisories given by the government. If we talk about the number of cases, the total number of cases are now risen to 166 total number, out of which 148 are the active number of cases. That means these people are being hospitalized, are under treatment for coronavirus, and up till now 15 people have discharged till now. But if we see that just now an order of Delhi government has come, and it says that all Delhi government school, whether aided, non-aided, Delhi Cantonment Board schools, or teaching and non-teaching staffs, all are required to, as all schools will be shut down, so none of the teachers or non-teaching staff will be coming to school. So all have been advised to be since the order says that the schools will remain shut till 31st of March, and all other examinations relating to CBSE, ICSE, JEEE exams, and engineering entrance exams all have been postponed. The new dates will be rescheduled and will be announced only after seeing the situation of coronavirus in the country, only after 31st of March. And if we say that today is all eyes and ears will be on the Prime Minister's address tonight at 8 p.m, where he will be addressing the nation on the issue of coronavirus in the country, giving them measures, giving them advice on how to tackle this situation and not to create panic, and be prepared for the situation. So all eyes and ears will be on today's Prime Minister's address, that what he speaks, what all steps have been taken up by the government till now. He will definitely give a brief detail of, to public in his address today, Aishwarya.
Absolutely, and the very good thing, of course, in this entire exercise is that the ICMR has confirmed that there are no signs of community transmission, and hopefully India doesn't reach that stage. That is the idea of taking all the precautions and the measures that the government is taking. Thank you so much, Anu, for all those updates. And now let's talk about the global situation. The coronavirus pandemic has claimed 8,657 lives so far across the world, with the number of infected cases rising to over 2 lakh globally. Governments across Europe, North America and Asia have rolled out tough measures to contain the spread of the deadly virus. For the first time since the outbreak, China has reported no new domestic case of COVID-19, including in Wuhan, which is the epicenter of the outbreak. However, a total of 34 new COVID-19 imported cases were reported on the Chinese mainland on Wednesday. 8 more people died, taking the total death toll in China to 3,245, and the overall confirmed cases reached 80,928 by the end of Wednesday. And Italy on Wednesday reported 475 new deaths, which is the highest one-day official toll of any nation since the outbreak. Total deaths in Italy have reached 2,978, which is more than half of all the cases recorded outside China, while the number of infections stood at 35,713. And Iran also reported its single biggest jump in deaths on Wednesday, as another 147 people died, raising the country's overall death toll to 1,135. And Iran's deputy health minister has urged the public to avoid travel and crowded places. And the European Union also sealed its borders on Wednesday, barring travellers from outside the bloc for 30 days to try to slow the rapid spread of the virus. Europe has now recorded 3,437 deaths, surpassing Asia's fatalities of 3,384. There are more than 79,000 cases across Europe, with Italy, Spain and France leading infections and fatalities. And London and Washington have announced massive economic stimulus packages after coming under fire over their response to the crisis. US President Donald Trump said that the White House was discussing a substantial spending bill with Congress that would include immediate cash payments to Americans. Trump said that the US-Canada border would also be closed for non-essential travel, but he assured that trade would continue. Meanwhile, Australia's government has also urged citizens to not travel abroad and has banned the gathering of more than 100 people as the cases there have topped 500. Malaysia has, remember, already banned travellers from overseas. Vietnam has blocked visitors from several European nations.